even though I'm not at every meeting, I am still involved and I am still learning, and I do appreciate when we have a question or we ask for information, the willingness to share it so we understand better. And that is really all we're doing. And sometimes you've been in a job so long, doing a job so long, you've done it one way, and yes, it's worked for a very long time, but sometimes you don't see that things are changing and that maybe some people's expectations have stepped up. I, as a parent, I have 2 children. I don't want, we assume as citizens that we never have to think about our public servants. Are there enough people on duty? Is there enough money for the proper equipment? Is there enough money for training? Are they doing the training? We assume that there is. It's just the way we're all brought up. It's just taken care of. Magically, there's enough firemen. Magically, there's enough police. Well, we come to find out there isn't always that. And then I find it disturbing the pay that our public servants make. It's low. I'm hoping that we're going to make something better. I find it disturbing that you can buy flowers for someone's family member that's died, but we fight tooth and nail against the unions for a raise. That's the kind of stuff that is strange, it's unbalanced, and we're trying to understand better. And I think that's about it. That's all I can think of right now. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, contract that we signed and agreed to with the firefighters kind of raised. You know, it was 4%, 5%, 4. 4, 4, 4? Was it 4, 4, 4? Yeah.
I think it was, when was it? Once they hired an attorney to fight.
Anybody else from the public? Yes, sir.
Robert Howell, 733 Day Drive. Just a comment about this now. Oh, I'm now protect number 3, by the way. When that statement was made, many in the audience were firefighters and EMTs. Now, I hope they weren't bunched in with that malcontent. If they weren't, I mean, there was no reason to bring that statement out in the first place. Might have said, well, if people are unhappy, they don't know what they're talking about, but if you call names, no. That's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Scott?
Any progress on a website establishment or no? I know it's something that you kind of keep a website.
Oh.
I know it kind of gets pushed.
No, we threw back, I don't know if that was last meeting or whatever, meeting before. Last meeting.
I think we talked about it, Mr. No, Mr. Tackles here. We're, I think, give him a time frame, but I think
yeah, we're researching the vendors. We're not happy with the original vendor issues, so we're releasing different vendors, but we're hoping to get it online within 30 days. So we'll see what happens.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else?
Sheila Wilson, is there an update on the Medicare situation?
We are still waiting on documentation from the company ADP, which is the prior payroll service company. I'm speaking with Jackie today. We found out they're claiming now that they charge a fee for some of this document retrieval since we're no longer a customer from theirs, although they didn't tell us exactly what the fee was, but we've been making weekly contact with them to get these documents. So that's the current holdup.
Anybody else? Okay, we'll move on. Minutes, 6:04:08. Peace. Is there a motion or?
Mr. Chairman, I believe you and I discussed this a little bit earlier this evening, and the minutes lack some clarity, especially in this flower resolution, for one example. There's no monetary amounts, and it should be lumped together. There's 2 paragraphs here, Jackie, and I think the minutes need to be redone. We occasionally there's items that don't give enough clarity, and we need to keep track, especially of resolutions. If they come up later at some point, then we would have a good explanation
Mr. Bartlett has more, but let's do a motion, and then,
Okay. A motion for the minutes.
and then we can have discussion.
Do we need a motion?
Mike, should we have a motion first?
Well, you're supposed to have a motion before you enter discussion, technically, so whatever motion you'd like to make, either motion to revise the minutes.
Motion to redo the minutes.
Just to redo them all over.
Yeah.
Okay.
A second? Need a second, right?
Yeah. Discussion.
Motion and a second to redo and resubmit the meeting minutes.
Right, with
Second.
discussion.
Now discussion.
Now discussion.
All right.
Okay. Pardon me, but I'm a little confused here when you say redo. I'm not quite sure what redo means. Does that mean you're going to redo the whole set of minutes and fill in all the detail and everything in here? Okay, because there are several other places we need some detail in the minutes. So my question would be, one, do you have the tape from the last meeting?
Most of it.
Most of it.
I've gotten it recorded, there's no
So-
problem with that.
So how do you redo minutes if you don't have?
Would you like to put them on
Recorder.
tape?
How much of the tape's missing, Jackie?
Probably
Down to
Quarter.
where in the minutes, do you know?
in the beginning, and then it tapers off, and then there's just probably a couple more minutes about it right away. And most of it's there.
Okay.
Okay, so redo means,
Greater clarification, I guess. is
Yeah.
what,
all right,
Why don't you go through your list?
okay, well, I guess for starters, I'm confused. Since I announced at the last meeting I wasn't going to be at this meeting, at the main meeting I said I wasn't going to be here, I read the minutes for detail to try to understand what's going on. I also know that it looks like you passed a motion twice. You have this ordinance, I'm sorry, Resolution 08-22 in the minutes. You already have an 08-22 established that it was the public records fees. So I guess my question is, if you had already Resolution 022, how can this be?
Typographical, it's 23.
Okay. All right. And then I would like great detail with respect to what we voted on as a board. So those that weren't in a meeting will know what transpired, because my understanding is the resolution process that you keep in the office right now just basically has the resolution number and then a 1 or 2 word note about what the resolution was, and therefore for me to figure it out I have to go find the minutes that it pertains to, and I don't know what minutes it pertains to. I have to search back through all the minutes to find that. So I guess later on I'll be looking for some clarity on how we write resolutions and how we're going to say what we do and then show that we are doing what we say. But all right, so that means
Did you announce 22 at the meeting, Jackie, or 23?
I'd have to check.
It's on the tape, right?
I believe it's probably 22. Probably was
I don't get it.
Okay. I also.
Now, hold on. Now, Mike, would that still stand okay, just so the resolution, if it was even announced the number was 22, it should have been 23? That's no, it just still,
Still be proper, but
just
I
needs a
required
right.
a number on